I'm Rita Batchley, and this is Coffee with the Nurse's Nurse, where we put self-care back into healthcare, because you can't give away something you don't have. And today, we're going to talk about the 3 things you need to do to get calm, collected, and connected. Trauma puts you into fight, flight, or freeze. And that means that your feelings are the last thing you can get in touch with. And in the healthcare profession, how can you look weak when other people are counting on you? Oh my gosh, when I first became a nurse, I was petrified. That first injection that I ever gave, and just like they said, fake it till you make it. And you know, I didn't tell anyone that it was that person. I still remember them, but I didn't tell them it was my first shot that I ever gave to a human. But I had to get centered, and I had to feel what I was feeling, and that I was worthy, and that I knew what I was doing was going to be okay, and that that others had my back, that I had my back. And that's what being a nurtured nurse is all about. When I am calm and collected and connected, I'm connected to this loving caregiver that's within me. Some people like to call that loving caregiver God, or a higher power, or spirit. And for me, caring is love. And being a nurse is definitely a way of expressing nurtured nurse, which is what I want to give to you. A way to find the comfort and that you got this, girl, or I know I can do it. When you're feeling that self-doubt, that anxiety, worry, there's a lot of going on, a lot of trauma. And it's easy to get defined by our trauma. Like, oh, it's never going to change. I used to get so angry when I heard nurses say, it's never going to change. We're never going to be respected. It's always going to be like this. And I know people change. I'm proof of that. How to be calm, collected, and connected. The first step is to feel. Feel what you're really feeling and be honest about it. And when I first tried to figure out what I was feeling, I had to have a list of feelings because I didn't even know what I was feeling. I stood in front of every possession I ever owned, where my house used to stand, and it was flattened and gone, and I couldn't even cry. I found a list of feelings, and I get to feel that stuff, and I get to find out the truth about Rita today and what it means to be a nurse and to give back to others and to give you hope in your darkest hours of feeling like you just can't do this anymore. Because just hold on. So that trust, that's number 2, trust. Trust in that power greater than myself, that loving power had my back and that I was worthy. Because I had this a lot of negative self-talk, and that wasn't good. But it took me this trust, developing a meditation practice and breathing. Those deep belly breaths to connect me to this collection of energy, this living proof, this beautiful sense of myself coming from a higher source, an energy, a loving guide, a spirit, the spirit of nursing, that care to pull us, or pull me and pull you too, because that's what this is about, teaching you how to be calm, collected, and connected by feeling, trusting, and talking. Something that was so painful to me When I was a little kid, my mom she drank abnormally. I had no one to talk to, no one to tell that truth to. And I remember it just being balled up in my throat and stuck there. And just like, I think I went to a meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous when I was 12 because I wanted to find someone to help me get my mother sober. But I didn't feel like connected to anyone like in my church or in my school. My family was just like, we didn't talk about it. So it was hidden. So I just like kept it all bottled up inside of me. And I know I'm connected because I'm calm. And I know it's my truth and it hurts, but it's mine and it's freeing. It's a feeling like, yeah, maybe somewhere, someone out there, one of you guys, or maybe, down the line, because these are going up on YouTube. And that's one of the things I know about being a nurse is that it feels good to help people. It feels good to be connected to another soul. And it feels good to feel heard. Drop me a line, connect up. Let's talk about this stuff. Because you know what? When I'm defined by the way I recover from trauma, it's so much better than being defined by my trauma. Because when I'm defined by what's wrong with me, that makes me a victim, like triangle of victim, martyr, hero, oh, I'll just take care of everyone else so they'll like me. I love this quote. I'm going to show it. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. And that's, to me, brilliant because I didn't want to be a victim and I still don't want to be a martyr. So that's what being, talking. So feel, trust, talking about it to others. And I challenge you to talk to, pick up the phone or write it out. And writing is so cathartic. Oh my gosh. I got to tell you, if it weren't for, writing my book, I think I would have lost my mind a long time ago. So I'm going to put a little plug up here for my book. It's on Amazon. It's called Labor Pains. And it is about the birth stories, a labor and delivery nurse who is her hospital gets bought up by a big giant corporation, and the nurses band together and unionize to keep the spirit of nursing alive, which is the spirit of caring. And yeah, caring for ourselves first. That's a big part of my story, and learning how to connect. What I love about doing this work, finding my loving caregiver, is that I get to reparent myself. I get to recreate the life I deserve every day, or create the life I deserve to be happy, because I'm responsible for my happiness. And putting that out there and creating that life of happiness is what I'm putting on these vlogs and in the work that I'm doing, and the next book that I'm creating, a nonfiction book for nurses on self-care, and just putting it out here because life's too short. What is it in the Hamilton show? They say, one shot. We got one shot at this. Trust that. I like this next saying. The more directly we can connect with our feelings and our needs, the easier it is for others to respond compassionately. So without that calm, collected, connected sense, I can't tell other people what I need. I don't even know what I need because I'm lost in the anger and the resentment. So feeling past that into the present with my breath the trusting that I've got this, and putting out that positive energy, and then talking to others, connecting with others, being part of a larger community, hoping too that nurses do connect up and get more help with the legislature that needs to be passed and the laws. I know unions get a bad rap. I kind of like, well, I like to compare it to if you needed a lawyer, and you go and get a lawyer, and you get the best lawyer that you can. And that's how I see unions. Like, would you want to defend yourself in court or have a good lawyer? And yeah, I see someone put a little heart up in the comments. And why are unions such a bad thing? I'll tell you why. Because they cost corporations money, and corporations want to keep doing what they're doing. They don't want to share their wealth. They are making healthcare really, really horrible. And I'm really kind of scared about that. And that's my truth. People are suffering behind the way that corporations are not giving them patients enough help in the hospitals. They're not giving, nurses the type of respect and care, breaks. It's no wonder a lot of people are being turned away from nursing. But also, I'm just worried too. You put a lot of time and energy into becoming a nurse, and then there's a 40% attrition rate. That means 40% of nurses who graduate and get jobs as nurses leave the profession within the first 3 years of being a nurse. And that is, we got a lot of nurses out there with licenses, and they don't want to do that. They don't want to work in healthcare because treated right. And that's like, yeah, hurt me once, shame on you. Hurt me twice, shame on me. So getting to that calm, collected, and connected place where I can tell my employer what I need and what I want is how to switch it up and not be defined by your trauma. So your assignment for this week is to, write down what you're feeling about your profession and put it out there. Call a friend. Go to my Nurse's Nurse website. You could even post that. I'm going to put it up here. Or join the Nurse's Nurse Facebook page and put in your comments. And just write down what you're feeling about the system, the healthcare system and care. Because I know that going from being a good nurse to a remarkable nurse is having compassion. And having compassion means taking care of yourself first, having compassion for yourself. And remember, treat yourself like you would your most vulnerable patient. Be kind, be gentle, be loving, because you can't give away something you don't got. Until we see each other again, I'll be back. This is the Nurse's Nurse. I'm Rita Batchley, and have a little coffee or tea.